All right, the Reds, it is the preview show. We're back inside. We can't be bothered being outside. It's freezing. So this is the winter version of the preview show, back inside. Bit more stats, a few things coming up on the screen and stuff like that. So let us know what you think. We're trying a few different things with it this time around. Got Kev with me. We are, of course, talking about West Ham v Liverpool. West Ham flying, doing really well, breaking all kinds of club records in the same way Liverpool are breaking all kinds of club records as well. But, you know, ours are better than theirs, obviously, goes without saying. But Kev, they've been doing really well. Last 5 results, obviously not including whatever happens at Genk tonight, coming up on your screen here. So they beat Everton at Everton, 1-0. Lovely and amusing as ever. They beat Genk 3-0 in the Europa League. They won 1-0 at home to Tottenham. 0-0 with Man City in the League Cup and knocked City out on penalties. And their last game before Genk was in the Premier League. They won 4-1 away at Aston Villa. And a quick look at the Premier League top 4 there, and you can see West Ham right up there, 20 points. Liverpool on 22 points, Liverpool in second, West Ham in 4th. And they've also scored 20 goals this season. Liverpool have scored 29 top scorers in the league, but 20 is not bad as well. Now, it feels like for years and years, obviously when he was Everton manager and when he was United manager, you know, we got stuck into Moyes big time, didn't we? And there was the lovely flag at Old Trafford at that time. David Moyes is a football genius. We've sang that loads of times as well. But here he is, you know, this Genk game tonight, that's his 1000th game as a manager. Yeah. So he'd argue if he was sat here now, well, I've done something right. And right now, like, you know, West Ham across this season and into last as well, I think there's only City and Chelsea in the calendar year that have won more points than West Ham.
Yeah, they're flying at the moment, aren't they? And it's built on solid foundations as well. And the results you've shown there, the thing that sticks out to me, there's no goals conceded at all, is they're absolutely flying on that score. I did a look before, I think Brentford scored 2 past them, I think United got 2. And I think that might be the only time we conceded more than 1 goal in a game. So obviously, he's quite a defensive manager, more usual pragmatic, you'd probably call it. But they're built on a solid foundation, and you've got that just a little hint of like attack and flair as well, haven't we? Like some Fornals and Mikel Antonio. So they're a good team. Listen, we took the piss out of Moyes relentlessly for a long time, and fair play, and probably long may it continue, but you can't argue with what he's doing now. The thing for West Ham will be, is this one of the things like with Everton he used to have, wasn't it, where he'd have sort of a boom and a bust, people would work out what he'd done. So one season he'd be fantastic and he'd get 5th or 6th in the Premier League, and then the next year he'd be worked out and he'd be 10th or 12th, and then it sort of swings around. So I suppose, as you say, it's for the full calendar year, so they're doing something right, aren't they? But it's whether they can keep it up. Yeah,
I mean, he shakes it up a little bit, he goes long sometimes, he changes the formation and things like that. And the 2 results you mentioned there, Kev, they're the only 2 defeats that they've had this season. So 2-1 to Man United at home, and 2-1 to Brentford at home. Anyone who remembers that United game will remember that's the game where he brings on Noble as a sub to take the pen, which was wild, wasn't it?
Absolutely mental decision.
And so, you know, that didn't work out for him. Obviously, United had also, they also conceded in the 89th minute. Brentford game as well, the Bees there scored their winner in the 94th minute. And as you say, Kev, you know, they've been fairly tight at the back. Not creating loads going the other way either, though. You know, I mean, they scored 4 against Newcastle, but we know Newcastle are poor. They scored 4 against Leicester as well. But as the season's gone on, those figures are coming down. It's more 1-0s, 2-0s, 2-1s, that kind of thing. Obviously, they get 4 against Aston Villa, completely ruining my points here. But you know, there has been a lot of tight games, and if you look at the XG, which I was doing earlier today, there's loads of, like, they're not expected to score many, they're not expected to concede many. So he's just made them tight, but more often than not, you know, they're winning. And, you know, mentioned Antonio, and he's someone who's caused those problems in the past, hasn't he? And, you know, they've got Genk tonight. We don't know what's going to go on, but looking at what he's done so far in Europe and, like, League Cup as well, he's been resting them. So he knows how crucial he is, and then he throws him in the league. And he seems to love playing at home for them as well. He's the top scorer in that stadium, as you would sort of expect. But he seems a bit of a home bird, like he's always scoring at home. So we've got to really watch him, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. He's the type of striker who causes us problems. If you think of Ivan Toney in that Brentford game, he's probably, they're not exactly the same style of striker, but they're both big, burly lads who will happily get up in the air and sort of give you a bit of an elbow. So if you're Moyes and you're looking at that Brentford game, you'd say, well, look, they can be got at this way, so I'd expect plenty of that to come.
All right, the Reds, thanks very much for getting stuck into that little snippet there of Anfield Wrap content. If you want the rest of that show and much more besides, click the link below, subscribe to the Anfield Wrap Premium, and for that you will get reviews, previews, exclusive interviews, post-match content, the full it. Get involved, follow us, follow them from the heart of Liverpool. Up the Reds.